Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Firda Asia Ramadhan Bulan with student number A3202100035 and I'm from class Extensive Reading B. In this video, I will reading and translate Chapter 6, The New Lead Dog, from text 4 with the title The Call of the Wild. Chapter 6, The New Lead Dog. The next morning, Francois could not find Spitz, and he saw Buck covered with blood. "What did I say? Buck is a great fighter," said Francois. Perrault looked at the wounds on Buck's body and said, "That Spitz fought like a devil." "And Buck fought like two devils," Francois said. "Now we can travel faster. No more Spitz, no more trouble." Francois started to harness the dogs. Buck walked to Spitz's old position, but Francois put Solex in the lead position. Buck jumped angrily at Solex. Francois cried. "Look at that Buck. He killed Spitz and now he wants his place." "Go away, Buck." But Buck did not move. Solex was not happy. He was afraid of Buck. When Francois turned his back, Buck pushed Solex away. Francois was angry. "Now I'll show you." He went to get a heavy club. Buck remembered the man in the red sweater and moved away. Buck remembered the man in the red sweater and moved away. "Come here, Buck," said Francois. Buck did not obey. He wanted to be the lead dog because he wanted to fight with Spitz. The two men tried to put on the harness, but he always moved away. "Come here, Buck," Perrault said. But Buck did not move. It was late. Francois put Solex in his old place. Perrault looked at his watch and he was angry. "Put down the club, Francois." Francois put down the club and Buck came to the front of the team. Francois put on the harness and the sled started moving. Buck was an excellent lead dog. He moved and thought quickly. The other dogs worked harder with Buck. The team traveled faster and faster. "Buck is the best dog, the very best," Francois said. It was 45° Fahrenheit below zero. Some days the dogs traveled 60 miles or more. After 14 days, they reached Skagway. The dog team was the center of attention. Then the two men received orders from the Canadian government. Francois put his arms around Buck and cried. Then the two men left and Buck did not see them again. Another man took Buck and his team back to Dawson. The sled was very heavy because it carried mail for the gold miners. Buck did not like it, but he and the other dogs worked hard. It was not an interesting life. One day was like another. They started before it was light. At night they camped, and this was the best part of the day. The dogs ate some fish and rested by the fire. Buck loved to rest by the fire. Sometimes he thought of Judge Miller's big house and his life there. He also thought about the man in the red sweater, the death of Corley, and the big fight with Spitz. Other times, he remembered his parents, his ancestor, and the world of long ago. The journey was hard and the mail was heavy. The dogs were tired and weak. They needed a long rest. But after only 2 days, they were traveling again. The dogs and the men were unhappy. Each night, the men took care of their dogs. They looked at their feet, but the dogs became weaker every day. Billy cried in his sleep and was very unfriendly. Dave was tired and ill. Something was wrong with him. Something was wrong with him. When they stopped in the evening, he lay down and did not stand up until morning. The men were worried about Dave. They did not understand his illness. One day, Dave could not pull the sled anymore. He cried sadly when Solex took his place. The next morning, Dave could not move. The driver took his pistol and walked away. The dogs heard a shot. The men came back quickly and the sled moved again. Buck and the other dogs knew what happened to Dave. 30 days after leaving Dawson City, the team arrived in Skagway. The dogs were exhausted and thin. They needed a long rest. The men needed new, strong dogs to pull the sled. They sold the old tired dogs to American men called Hal and Charles. both Buck and his team. They bought other dogs too. Carlis was 40 years old and Hal was a young man. Carlis' wife Mercedes was also with them. They knew nothing about life in the Northland, and they made many mistakes. They put too many things on their sled and tried to start. The dogs pulled hard for a few moments and then stopped. They could not move it because it was too heavy. "These lazy animals," cried Hal with a whip in his hand. "They're very weak," said the man. "They need a rest." "Nonsense, they're very lazy," said Hal. "Muse," he cried, "muse." Hal whipped the dogs again and again. Another man said, "I don't care about you, but I care about the dogs. Break the ice around the sledge and then dogs can pull." Hal broke the ice and the sled moved forward. The unhappy team moved on. Day after day, Hal whipped the poor dogs. He gave them little food to eat. They were very tired and very hungry. They looked like skeletons. Dub hurt himself and was shot. Billy and some other dogs dead. "Soon we will all die," Buck thought. Anjing pemimpin baru. Keesokan paginya, Francois tidak dapat menemukan Spitz, dan dia melihat Buck berlumuran darah. "Apa yang saya katakan? Buck adalah petarung yang hebat," kata Francois. Perrault melihat luka di tubuh Buck dan berkata, "Spitz itu bertarung seperti iblis atau setan, dan Buck bertarung seperti dua iblis," kata Francois. "Dan sekarang kita bisa perjalanan dengan lebih cepat. Tidak ada lagi Spitz, tidak ada lagi masalah." Francois mulai mengikat anjing-anjing itu. Buck berjalan ke posisi lama Spitz, tetapi Francois menempatkan Solex di posisi terdepan. Buck melompat marah ke arah Solex. Francois menangis. "Lihat, Buck itu, dia membunuh Spitz dan sekarang dia menginginkan tempatnya." "Pergi, Buck." Tetapi Buck tidak bergerak. Solex tidak senang. Dia takut pada Buck. Dan ketika Francois berbalik, Buck mendorong Solex menjauh. Dia pergi untuk mendapatkan kelab berat. Buck ingat pria dengan sweater merah dan berpindah. "Kemarilah, Buck," kata Francois. Buck tidak menurut. Dia ingin menjadi anjing pemimpin karena dia memenangkan pertarungan dengan Spitz. Kedua pria itu mencoba memasang tali kekang atau tali, tetapi dia selalu menjauh. "Kemarilah, Buck," kata Perrault. Tetapi Buck tidak bergerak. Sudah terlambat. Francois menempatkan Solex di tempat lamanya. Perrault melihat arlojinya dan dia marah. "Letakkan tongkatnya, Francois." Francois meletakkan tongkatnya dan Buck maju ke depan tim. Francois memasang tali pengekang dan kereta luncur mulai bergerak. Buck adalah anjing pemimpin yang sangat baik. Dia bergerak dan berpikir sangat cepat. Anjing-anjing lain bekerja lebih keras dengan Buck. Tim melakukan perjalanan lebih cepat dan lebih cepat. Buck adalah anjing yang terbaik. "Yang terbaik," kata Francois. Itu 45 derajat Fahrenheit di bawah 0. Terkadang anjing melakukan perjalanan 60 mil atau lebih. Setelah 14 hari mereka mencapai Skagway. Tim anjing menjadi pusat perhatian. Kemudian kedua pria itu menerima perintah dari pemerintah Kanada. Francois memeluk Buck dan menangis. Kemudian kedua pria itu pergi dan Buck tidak melihat mereka lagi. Orang lain membawa Buck dan timnya kembali ke Dawson. Kereta luncur itu sangat berat karena membawa surat untuk para penambang emas. Buck tidak menyukainya, tetapi dia dan anjing-anjing lain bekerja keras. Itu bukan kehidupan yang menarik seperti hari lainnya. Mereka memulai sebelum hari terang Dan pada malam hari mereka berkemah, dan ini adalah bagian terbaik dari hari itu. Anjing-anjing itu makan ikan dan beristirahat di dekat api. Buck senang beristirahat di dekat perapian. Terkadang dia memikirkan rumah besar Hakim Miller dan kehidupannya di sana. Dia juga memikirkan pria berbaju merah, kematian Curly, dan pertarungan besar dengan Spitz. Di lain waktu, dia ingat orang tuanya, nenek moyangnya, dan dunia masa lalunya. Perjalanannya sulit dan suratnya berat. Anjing-anjing itu lemah dan lelah. Mereka membutuhkan istirahat yang lama, tetapi setelahnya hanya 2 hari mereka bepergian lagi. Anjing-anjing dan laki-laki tidak senang. Setiap malam para pria merawat anjing mereka. Mereka melihat kaki mereka, tetapi anjing-anjing itu semakin lemah setiap hari. Billy menangis dan dalam tidurnya dan sangat tidak ramah. Dave lelah dan sakit. Ada yang tidak beres dengannya. Ketika mereka di malam hari, dia berbaring dan tidak berdiri sampai pagi. Orang-orang itu mengkhawatirkan Dave. Mereka tidak mengerti penyakitnya. Dan suatu hari, Dave tidak bisa menarik kereta luncur lagi. Dia menangis sedih ketika Solex menggantikannya. Dan keesokan paginya, Dave tidak dapat bergerak. Pengemudi itu mengambil pistolnya dan pergi. Anjing-anjing itu mendengar tembakan. Pria itu kembali dengan cepat dan kereta luncur itu bergerak lagi. Buck dan anjing-anjing lain tahu apa yang terjadi pada Dave. Dan 30 hari setelah meninggalkan kota Dawson, tim tiba di Skagway. Anjing-anjing itu kelelahan dan kurus. Mereka butuh istirahat yang lama. Orang-orang itu membutuhkan anjing baru yang kuat untuk menarik kereta luncur mereka. Dan mereka menjual anjing tua yang lelah. Dan 2 pria Amerika bernama Hal dan Carlis membeli Buck dan timnya. Mereka juga membeli anjing lain. Carlis berusia 40 tahun dan Hal masih muda. Istri Carlis, Mercedes, juga bersama mereka. Mereka tidak tahu apa-apa tentang kehidupan di Northland. Dan mereka membuat banyak kesalahan. Mereka menaruh terlalu banyak barang di kereta luncur mereka dan mencoba untuk memulai. Anjing-anjing itu menarik keras selama beberapa saat dan kemudian berhenti. Mereka tidak bisa memindahkannya karena terlalu berat. Hewan pemalas ini, kata Hal dengan cambuk di tangannya. Mereka sangat lemah, kata seorang pria. Mereka butuh istirahat, omong kosong. Mereka sangat malas, kata Hal. Muse, dia menangis. Muse. Hal mencambuk anjing-anjing itu lagi dan laki-laki lain berkata, aku tidak peduli kepadamu, tetapi peduli kepada anjing-anjing itu. Hancurkan es itu di sekitar kereta luncur, dan anjing-anjing itu bisa menarik. Hal memecahkan kebekuan es dan kereta luncur bergerak maju. Tim yang tidak senang itu terus maju. Hari demi hari, Hal mencambuk anjing-anjing malang itu terus-menerus. Dia memberi mereka sedikit makanan untuk dimakan. Mereka sangat lelah dan sangat lapar. Mereka tampak seperti kerangka. Dan Dave melukai dirinya sendiri dan tertembak. Billy dan beberapa anjing lainnya mati. Sebentar lagi kita semua akan mati, kata Buck.